Welcome to the Quiz Pal. Today, we're ranking the scariest horror movies on a tier list, from absolutely terrifying to downright boring. Let's find out how these horror classics and thrillers rank with you. Let's begin. Give a ranking to the Let the Right One in Land movie. How does this rank among your favorites? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What tier would you place The Witch in? Where does Unfriended rank on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is Hereditary a top-tier movie for you? How would you rank The Babadook on your horror scale? Does Saw make it to your top tier? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does Don't Look Now fall on your list? How about Midsommar? Is it high on your list? Would you put A Quiet Place in the top tier? How would you rate The Lords of Salem? Does Eat make the top of your horror ranking? What tier does Poltergeist belong in? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does Drag Me to Hell land in your rankings? How does It Follows rank on your list? Does 28 Days Later deserve a high spot on your tier list? Would you rank Beware the Slender Man as a top horror movie? Where does The Amityville Horror fit on your list? What tier would you place The Hostel in? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is The Wicker Man on your top tier horror list? Where does Child's Play rank on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Would Night of the Living Dead crack your top 5? How would you rank Hush in your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does The Blair Witch Project fall in your rankings? Is The Fog a top-tier movie for you? Where would you place Alien on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is Jaws at the top of your horror tier list? Does Paranormal Activity make your top tier? Where would you rank Dab? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What spot would Scream take on your list? Does Dawn of the Dead make it to your top 10? How would Carrie fare in your rankings? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is Friday the 13th a top horror movie for you? What tier does The Grudge belong in? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Does Rosemary's Baby deserve a top spot on your list? How would you rank Get Out on your tier list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is The Ring in your top tier? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does Annabelle fit in your rankings? How about Insidious? Where does it land for you? Where does Sinister rank on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is The Exorcist a top contender on your list? What tier would you place The Conjuring in? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How does Nosferatu rank among horror classics? Would Martyrs make it to your top 5? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How high would Halloween rank for you? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Does The Silence of the Lambs make your top tier? Where would Silent Hill fall on your tier list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is The Omen in your top 10? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How would you rank The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? Does Psycho deserve a top spot in your rankings? What tier does Dead Alive belong in? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How would you rank Beetlejuice on your list? Is Howling a top-tier movie for you? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master fit for you? Rank the A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. What spot would The Lost Boys take on your list? How would The Frighteners fare in your rankings? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is Hannibal in your top horror films? How would you rank Trick or Treat? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does the Texas Chainsaw Massacre fall for you? Is the Rocky Horror Picture Show top tier for you? How does The Menu rank on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is Fresh in your top tier? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where would Pearl rank for you? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is Jennifer's Body on your horror tier list? How about The Shining? Does it make your top 5? Where would The Descent land for you? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What rank would you give Cabin Fever? Where does The Others fit in your rankings? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is The Fly in your top tier? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How would you rank Eraserhead? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What tier does Phantasm belong in for you? Where would The Evil Dead fall on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How about The Hills Have Eyes? Where would you rank it? Does The Thing deserve a top-tier spot? How does Reanimator fare on your list? Where would The Mist rank for you? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Is The Sixth Sense in your top tier? Where does The Invisible Man fall on your list? How would you rank Cube on your tier list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What spot does The Autopsy of Jane Doe take for you? Does Hellraiser make it to your top 5? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How does The House of the Devil rank for you? Where would you place Slither on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What tier would you place The Collector in? How would you rank The Strangers on your horror scale? Is 1408 in your top horror picks? How high would Pet Sematary rank for you? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does Gerald's Game land in your rankings? How would you rank The Invitation? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What tier does The Witching Hour belong in? Where would you place They Live on your list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How does Creepshow rank among your top horror movies? Is The Boy on your horror tier list? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where would The Haunting of Hill House fit for you? Is The Curse of La Llorona a top-tier movie for you? How would you rank The Orphanage? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? Where does The Ritual rank for you? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? How high would Black Christmas rank for you? What tier would you place Oculus in? Terrifying, creepy, bit scary, or boring? What's your ranking? Comment down below. Also, let us know which horror movies are your absolute favorite. And now, let's play the next quiz.